We did not make any mistakes. That coming from the sheriff of San Bernardino County himself, now reacting to the long search and the deadly standoff with the suspected cop killer Christopher Dorner. Phil Schuman with the latest on what is now the first detailed report from the sheriff's department on what it did and what it did not do. Listen.
Tonight, the flags outside the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Building are at half-staff in honor of the officers left in Christopher Dorner's murderous wake. While inside, the man in charge of the sheriff's department fiercely defended his team's actions.
They ran into the line of fire, they were being shot at, and didn't turn around and retreat.
Sheriff John McMain acknowledges Dorner was likely hiding in plain sight in this cabin across from the command post for days before that final standoff. And during the massive search, his deputies knocked on that cabin door. It was locked, they moved on. Enough?
Wasn't the public told that a thorough search was done? And doesn't that imply more than just looking to see if a door was locked?
The public was told that a thorough search was done, and I'm thoroughly convinced that our officers did a thorough search of that area. I will not allow the officers to kick doors open that belong to residents that are not home.
And tonight we heard for the first time from the man in charge of the SWAT operation. He described a non-stop barrage of bullets coming from Dorner, killing one, wounding another. The plan was to force him to surrender, not to burn the cabin down, despite some X-rated radio chatter saying just that.
Before we put that pyrotechnic chemical agent in, we made numerous PA announcements identifying him by name, asking him to surrender, telling him who we were, and asking him to come out.
Taken from the cabin and displayed this afternoon, a bolt-action sniper rifle used by Dorner, the word vengeance printed on the stock. Also in that same room, off to the side but not forgotten, photos. Deputy Alex Collins, who survived, and Jeremiah McKay, who did not. The coroner ruled Dorner died from a gunshot wound, not from the fire, most likely self-inflicted. So for most, the story is now over. But the families of the 4 people Dorner murdered, well, they've been sentenced to a lifetime of grief. In San Bernardino, Phil Schuman, Fox 11 News.
That, as most see Christopher Dorner as a cold-blooded killer. But one of Dorner's carjacking victims is talking about another side of the man who became the target of that desperate manhunt.
He did show a compassionate side. I don't have a problem saying that, not justifying anything else he's ever done. But in this case, I saw a passionate side of him. He wanted to make sure I took my dog with me, and I did. And he wanted us to walk up the road, and that's what we did.
He's a camp ranger, along with his dog, a Dalmatian named Suni, out driving his Ram pickup truck down a remote road there in the San Bernardino National Forest on Tuesday. That's when he comes face to face with Dorner and is carjacked. And then just moments later, Dorner dies in that standoff with police. Now the camp ranger is saying he deserves part of the $1 million reward, making the case that it's his phone call after the carjacking that tipped off the cops and the deadly vendetta of Christopher Dorner was no more.
I'm working on getting the reward. I believe the reward should be paid out. If it didn't get paid out and got put back into somebody's bank account, nobody's going to benefit from it. I want to get that money. I want to do some good with it. I've got some specific places I want to put it.
Do some good with it, he says, and now he's ready to share that reward, giving a cut to the couple tied up in their cabin by Dorner. For now, though, the reward of $1 million, it's still unclaimed, and it is still there waiting.